Okay, so it's the middle of the night here. I'm home. I'm back to Vancouver area of Canada. 30 hours of travel or something, which is really normal to come from, you know, Eastern Africa back to Canada. It was a good flight. I had a good route, and so I was able to rest halfway through and stuff, so that was really nice. There's this energy within me as I come home, as I get here. Canada has good Wi Fi, it has familiarity, of course. I can get around, I can go where I want when I'm here at home, as compared to other places where there is a fair amount of restriction on my movement, or, just everything has to be thought out more and planned and coordinated with other people, and there's not so much of that when I'm here at home in Canada, so this is really good. Uh, Basically because the work has to be offset by sort of a creativity of producing things. When I'm overseas, my main task and time is actually just plain spent with people. Coming on the inside, entering into homes, being alongside people, and then, of course, creating team now and doing what we can given the time we have when I am there. It's not all of what we want to be doing yet. We want to get a little bit more organized with our team stuff. But anyways, when I'm home, I can attend to other stuff, and so I can feel it's the middle of the night here. I came and I slept a bit, of course, in Uganda time. I think it's middle of the day, so I'm what is it? I think it's 1 a.m. here, and I'm wide awake. And the only good thing about jet lag is that I get a couple of mornings every day, so that's kind of fun because I'm a morning person. So I'll wake up and I'll have all this creative energy kind of bursting out of me a couple times a day during my jet lag week, but it usually takes me about a week. Uh, so I can feel this being here. There's a bunch of videos that were taken of team and also of myself while I was in Uganda, and I tried to upload those from there. Just was never enough Wi-Fi, so I'm going to catch up on some of that stuff and really do a lot more of the support work around the work that I do, and that's really what I want to do here in Canada. I also of course, want to see my family. I'm seeing all of my children will be here this next week for a surprise that we're having. Actually, I'm realizing I'm going to put this video out, and I don't want to say the surprise on the video. But so there's some family, and just there's something about familiarity that's restful, and also just releases a real energy and creativity. I'm an artist, I think, almost first and foremost, in terms of putting things together, or this creating things, being an architect of ideas and of people and of process and formulation and what we're doing going forward, and putting the pieces together and putting the support stuff in place. I'm still finishing off some of the final sort of framework around the CCIM course. There's things that have to be done in terms of communication to all of those, our international database, and so there's a bunch of stuff to attend to, and I get home and I feel like, okay, I can attend to this stuff now, because I can't really attend to a lot of stuff when I'm overseas. It just never quite seems to work. A few things that kind of prohibit actually producing things when I'm overseas. But so now's the opportunity for me to do this here. And of course, we're going to have a few CCIM gatherings. I want to have a prayer day. Then I'm going to have an afternoon or evening information time, or just sharing again more stories and what's happening and the updates in terms of Capturing Courage International Ministries, where we've gotten to, and then how we're seeing the future unfolding before us. So you'll be hearing more about this. But all this to say, I'm home. India was a really good time there. We did exactly what we needed to do. It was a short time, but it was all that was needed. And I'll be back there again in a few months for another bit of time. Uganda was really good. Uganda was a bit harder this time. The international, not the international travel, the travel on the ground within the country was more difficult. Excuse me. It was more difficult than I've ever experienced before, and not because there was anything different with the time or with the people or anything, but it was more of just my own wherewithal to, I don't know, somehow it was just really harder this time. So and then there was a number of things that didn't come together, that didn't really work how we planned as we continued to go from place to place, and alongside different people we realized things weren't what we had envisioned them to be. But what this did is it created real clarity actually on how to go forward and the things we're not going to do, and basically summed up an entire year and a half of ideas and visioning and thinking and trying to tell, okay, what is the support network and the supporting roles around this course that we have? What is it that we actually need to create? What would actually be useful? And so I'm just so excited. I'm just so pleased, because it's been quite a little bit of time testing ideas and thinking and praying, and some things work and some things don't work. And then, anyways, we have a lot more clarity. So this is good as well. And it was just a really good trip. So I'm back here in Canada now for, I'm not sure, to the middle or end of May. So only about 6 to 8 weeks I'll be here. And so I do have this sense of, okay, now I can make good use of my time and kind of get some stuff happening. I also plan to do some gardening. I have a flower bed here, and I'm sure it needs some attending too. So I'm going to do some stuff like that. See my children, hang out with them, and anyways, just I'm here at my parents' place, so hang out with them as well. Anyways, it's all good. Thanks for your prayers for my illness this last week. I was 2.5 weeks ago, I got the flu really bad, and then I was sick, and then I was recovering from that, or maybe that was 3 weeks ago in Uganda, and then I was recovering from that and feeling pretty good, and then I got malaria last week, and so I had malaria last week, but got over it in time to do the flight home. I still have a little bit of a runny nose. Not sure if you can kind of hear it. I had some kind of sinus stuff going on even as I was flying home, so I was taking Tylenol sinus medicine the whole way home. So I'm not really feeling sick or worn down. I'm actually feeling really energized and just with lots of vim and vigor. But anyways, thank you for your prayers in terms of my health, and I just do appreciate that. And so part of my time here too is just going to be making sure I get enough rest, or enough exercise, things like this. It's hard to do some of that when I'm overseas, actually. So anyways, blessings. Thanks for everything. And I'm going to be shooting out a bunch of videos over the next few weeks. One of them is going to be a video of a message that I brought to a women's conference probably a month ago now in Uganda, and then there's some other videos that we had done that, again, we didn't have enough Wi-Fi when I was there to make these things happen, but we're going to be catching up on some of that. So blessings. We'll stay in touch. Thanks.